Okay, so let's talk about a few more tips. Let's start with spacing and staking. So, when spacing our plants, um, again, you want to take a look at the instructions on how much space they typically require. I tend to really pack my stuff in because I like to take advantage of the limited space that I have in my backyard. So you'll notice that here on the edge I have some flowers to give it some nice colorful look to my planters and also feed the pollinators as well as have some flowers such as this blue salvia that makes a nice cutting flower. And behind it, I planted this tomato. And then as far as staking it, because the tomato will grow long, I have this trellis. So moving over to this next box, again, I have my flowers in the front. In the back, I have some more flowers growing. I have some sunflowers and a big dahlia plant. And then moving into here, which is more starting with some more vegetables, is you'll notice I put on the corner, I planted this zucchini in the corner of this box because the zucchini is going to get pretty big. And this way, if it needs to, it can drape over. And then again here, I have a section of just um, cutting garden plants. Let's see, so we've got zinnias. These I planted by seed. I could have spaced them out further, but I tend, like I said, I pack them in. Here are some dahlias, which are going to grow big and bushy. I gave them a little more space. Then over here, I have some sweet potatoes. And again, I planted these at the edge because they want to drape over. So you see how this one is draping over. I could have also staked it in a way so that it could have grown upward. Um, Again, here's a dahlia. Here's a nice big tomato. This is a patio tomato. So it's kind of a big stumpy but not really tall tomato. Whereas this tomato back here, which I have in this metal trellis, is a beefsteak tomato, which is going to get really have really big tomatoes. So I gave that the extra support. Back over here, some more tomatoes, and I have a trellis again. Then I have them um, growing up, and I periodically you're going to need to tie or support them in some way so that you essentially train them to grow up. You can also use stakes or sticks like this one. So here you can see I have the tomato tied so it has support. Otherwise they'll just flop over and you don't want your tomatoes sitting on the ground. And then intermittently I tucked in some sunflowers here that are growing. And then on the edge I have some basil. Everybody loves basil, or most people do. And a little tip here is I like to plant this tomato I planted that was already started, but I also, as you'll notice under here, I don't know what happened to this tomato branch, but um, this basil here was started by seed so that that crop is going to grow on a little bit later. So I really want to stagger my crop because I love basil. I want to have it throughout the year and potentially be able to make some pesto with it later. And then here along the edges of my boxes are the cucumbers, and the cucumbers will grow up on the fence, as you can see. This is where I have them growing up. So if you have fencing, and you can see we have a little cucumber already starting. And then these small boxes, I have summer lettuce, which needs to be harvested, and then some broccoli greens, which I love to throw in my smoothies. Again, some flowers, marigolds are good plants which we call companion plants, to add to your tomato boxes and your vegetable boxes so that um, they help with bug control. I have some herbs in the front. And again, here's another cucumber. And in choosing what to plant, so here you can see this tomato, what happens when you stake it, how it just really grows up and it just keeps growing. So see, you can actually see how much support that they do need. And we have some nice little red tomatoes already starting here.